Let's go over some of the basic configurations for EtherChannel. In this diagram, I have two Cisco Layer 3 switches, the 3560 models. They're connected to a 2960 Cisco Layer 2 switch. In this lab, they're going to be a Juniper Layer 2 switch. So why do we implement EtherChannel on our switches? The main reason is redundancy. If I were to unplug the switch, there's no way for these two switches to communicate. If this copper crossover cable went down, systems on both sides of the network would not be able to communicate with each other. If we had to do any maintenance on this switch and maybe replace a cable, we wouldn't be able to replace that cable without shutting the network down. In order to fix this problem, we can connect the switch with multiple connections. These two switches have 4 connections connecting them. The switches currently see them as 4 physical connections, and they will go through a spanning tree protocol in order to decide which port they're going to elect as a primary port. With EtherChannel, we will make the switches think that all 4 of these are going to be the exact same cord and the exact same port. We'll go into configure terminal mode on one of the switches. We're going to select the range of interfaces that all of these cords are connected to. We'll type in switch port encapsulation. We'll type in switch port trunk encapsulation .1Q. And this command, we only do this command on the layer 3 switches because layer 3 switches can encapsulate this mode. Because only layer 3 switches can encapsulate .1Q through the trunk. We will now change these ports to trunk instead of DTP. A switch's default port type is DTP, Dynamic Trunking Protocol. We want to change this to just trunk. So we'll type in switch mode trunk and hit enter. Now that we've changed all the ports to trunk mode, we can now type in a command that says switch port no negotiate. Next we could type in the channel group. This means it's going to group all of these interfaces in together into one group, and that's going to be called the channel. And the number of this channel can be anything between 1 and 48, so we can have 48 different channels. We'll put in 6, channel group number 6. Next we will select the mode of the EtherChannel. As you see, we have many different options, and each option has PAgP or LACP, or EtherChannel. We could just turn on EtherChannel, or we can turn on a specific type of EtherChannel. PAgP is Cisco's proprietary protocol for EtherChannel. LACP is multi-vendor. This means if I'm connecting these ports to another Cisco switch, it's best practice to be using PAgP, especially if they're asking you on a CCNA exam. Now, if this switch is going to be connected to the Juniper switch, then we'll type in LACP because a Juniper switch will not be running PAgP. Now each of those EtherChannel types has its own 2 mode. PAgP has auto and desirable, LACP has active and passive. What this means is if you type in desirable, the EtherChannel will be enabled unconditionally no matter what. If we type in auto, it will only enable PAgP if it detects that the other device also has PAgP. In this case, we already know the other device is a Cisco switch, so I'm going to type in desirable. As you see, they all went down and they're all going to come back up. If we go back to user exec mode, we can type in show EtherChannel summary. Here we can see that our group 6 is going to be under channel 6. It's using PAgP protocol, and these are the ports that are associated with it. As you see, we have 3 cords right now that are offline on this side of the switch, because this side of the switch has not been configured. So we're going to be typing in the exact same things that we typed into the other switch. We're going to select that interface range, enable the trunk encapsulation, change the mode from DTP to trunk, enable no negotiate, and it has to be exactly the same. We have to specify the exact same channel group, And for the mode, we have to put in the same mode that was configured on the other switch, which was desirable. As you can see, they all shut down. So we go and type in no shut on this side, go back to this switch and type in no shut under those interfaces. Our switches have been connected through EtherChannel. Now all 4 of these interfaces are active on both sides, and the switch virtually believes that all 4 of these interfaces are one connection. It doesn't look at it as 4 connections, it looks at it as 1. If we disconnect these, as you see, it's seamless. They stay online and running. We can go ahead and reconnect them without having any downtime between those port connections. Now what happens when I want to connect a Cisco Layer 3 switch with an off-brand Juniper Layer 2 switch? We'll go onto the Layer 3 switch first. Select the range of interfaces that you're using for your EtherChannel. Enable the encapsulation mode. Change it from DTP to trunk. Now we must select a different number for the channel group. We'll pick channel group 2. If I were to pick desirable, as I did on the last one, it wouldn't work because this is PAgP. We need LACP because the other switch is not Cisco. So I'm going to type in active. Active gives us the same result as desirable. The only difference is one is using PAgP and one is using LACP. Now that we have that configured, we'll go over to our Layer 2 Juniper switch. Select those same interfaces. On a Layer 2 switch, Layer 2 switches do not encapsulate .1Q trunk modes. So that first command won't be necessary, but we still have to change the switch port mode to trunk. No negotiate. Channel group 2, mode, active. No shut. Go back to the other switch. No shut. While these 2 are connecting, let's go ahead and do the exact same thing on these 2 other switches. Our devices have been connected. Now we can go back into user executive mode and type in the show EtherChannel summary. We can see these are grouped under EtherChannel group 2 and EtherChannel group 6. You can also go into configure terminal mode and edit the interface of the port channel. So every time you create a new EtherChannel, it creates an interface for it, where you can edit and configure more advanced options. I hope you enjoyed my video. We'll make a more in-depth video soon on EtherChannel, so stay tuned.